And I'm going to deviate a little bit from the question because the statement was made earlier about the mayor not being here. The only thing I need to add to that, I have been to a number of neighborhood meetings in my district with the mayor, and I don't see a crowd like this. So she has given that opportunity too. Now off that bandwagon. Of course, I think every one of us in this room wants to make life better for those who are unfortunate or do not have the capacity to afford some of the places where we live. I must thank Ben Gray and Pete and Chris for their leadership on getting us to the point where we are at right now. Again, my answer to this is yes. As I reflect on this, I believe when you sign a contract, you should fulfill that. I don't know what happened, but it's my understanding, if you make a mistake, you pay a fine. So it's my understanding that is what's happening. I'm going to say yes on this, but I'm also going to wait and see what the results of the study. Now, I was told tonight that decisions had already been made. I did realize I haven't been reading the right study. I didn't realize those recommendations said this is the way to go. I think we need to take a look at that and see if that's what it is. It may be implied, but I have not read where it said this is the way it's going to be. And I can remember at several meetings, town hall meetings with the mayor, and she said there would be meetings, public meetings, dealing with this topic. I heard that with my own ears. Thank you. I listened earlier. It sounded like we have an awful lot of Catholics in this group. Well, this is what I want to tell you. Immigration is a long-term process because you realize about 50, 60 years ago, if you were Catholic or Jewish in the state of Nebraska, the KKK was after you. And if you don't believe me, go to some of the cemeteries, especially in some of the smaller communities, and you'll see on this tombstone, and you will see the word KKK. See how far we have come? That's how I see immigration. It takes a long time for some of these things to come true. Another example, a town called OTOC at one time was Berlin. And that was because of World War II. People saw the need to change. So we're going to always have some dissatisfaction out there. So I think what we need to do is continually to work at it. Now, it is my understanding the Lutheran group, they help bring refugees to Omaha. I think they do that through the federal process, if I'm not mistaken. I was told that they give them 3 months, basically, of dollars or monies. Then after that, it falls on our backs. That needs to change because we cannot always assume everybody else's needs. We do need help more or less like from the federal government on some of those. If we're going to accept refugees, which I think we should, that's not the question, but we also need additional help. And now here's another thing too, because when we started this evening, the minister or the priest really is very dogmatic. I felt like I was back in my Catholic school. He said, you will say yes or you will say no. And sometimes there is a maybe.